Hi everyone, hope you are all doing well this week and just wanted to go over a few items from last week, just wrap things up. Last week we talked a bit about coordination of care, and we're actually kind of digging into the Care Coordination Atlas, and also looked a bit at in our assignment. I'll scroll down here. In our assignment, looked at um, specifically at population health. I apologize. I noticed in here, I was actually just noticing how some of the questions kind of ran together. I apologize for that. But population health and specifically social determinants, how social determinants, types of interventions can help to impact patients in that population. But I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. First, I want to go back to care coordination and the care coordination ring. I thought had a great discussion. I'm excited. I mentioned this in the Flipgrid itself. We have a lot of folks with some significant experience in care management, care coordination, the clinical side. So it's great to have some really in-depth conversations about this topic. So it's interesting to hear what your views are, the issues that you've seen, how we can impact this whole issue moving forward. And obviously, Dr. Berwick, for those of you that are familiar with Dr. Berwick, he's kind of the godfather of process improvement and patient safety. He's been everything from the head of CMS to the head of the Institute for Healthcare Improvement to obviously a really great physician and everything in between. For him to be involved in a situation that worked this perfectly is not surprising. But what I find interesting is that that is really how we want the system to work. We want all of those elements, and I'm just going to pop over here to the care coordination ring quickly. If I can get it to come up, our internet is not functioning very well here at RMU today. But the way we want this care coordination ring to work is to have have that the meeting the patient's needs well, effectively, efficiently in the middle, but to have all of these elements around the outside not just be there, but be connected by this ring. So the key is that all of these pieces are connected in some way. And they're connected via electronic health records, they're connected via communication in some way. And we talked a bit about that in the discussion board. How do we improve that communication? One way is electronic health records that talk to one another, and breaking down these walls between health systems that battle because they don't want to share information. That's there's one there's one way to fix it, but not just that. I mean, it's not even just about battles between health systems, between warring health systems, but it's sharing information from this health system to the one that my mom may go to in Florida when she's wintering down there. So that type of sharing of information. It's not just the rivalries, but it's just sharing of information from location to location. So how do we open up that type of information interchange? But it's even those handoffs, and we talked about that a bit in the Flipgrid. How do you improve those handoffs? How do you improve that communication? Just a simple miscommunication between a patient and the provider, between a provider and another provider, between a provider and a pharmacist, between a provider and a home health nurse. Those miscommunications can cause breakdowns. And then that education piece. How do we better educate our patients and make them more health literate? How do we make our patients behave like that patient and that mom in that example, where that mom was able to actually manage and help track that patient's condition at home? That is the oddity. I'm as bad an example as anybody. We're unable to even manage our own wellness, let alone our sickness. So how do we help people to manage their chronic conditions and make themselves more well at home? So many things that patients can do at home to manage chronic conditions like asthma or diabetes. They can do these things at home and hopefully keep themselves away from, the one comment that many people made is a lot of the things around the ring were involved in this case, but really the one thing that really was not was inpatient care. And we can keep patients out of the hospital if we can get all of these other things working. So really an important element of care coordination, and that patient-centered focus is keeping this one, let's just throw that one out because we want to keep people out of the hospital. Sometimes it's a necessity, and when it is, let's get them in, let's provide them great, excellent, efficient, and effective care, and let's get them back home or back to their home state, whatever that happens to be it a skilled facility, assisted living, whatever their home state is. So that's how it needs to work, but it's so important to have this ring be about good communication, be it electronically, face-to-face, whatever that communication is, it needs to be effective and efficient. So really, I'm excited about the communications that we had in class, because I think that we're having some good chats about those topics. Really knowledgeable folks in class, and it's fun to hear everyone chat about that. The other thing I wanted to talk about, and I haven't looked at any of I won't comment specifically because I haven't looked at any of your papers yet. Obviously, I'm still struggling with this illness, and if I'd go to the doctor, I'd probably get it fixed. But so I haven't even gotten to last week's papers yet, which I'm going to do right here shortly. But so this week's are a little bit behind as well. But I did, if you found this, obviously, this Unnatural Causes documentary series is a whole series of documentaries made about various different topics. So this one happened to be about place. So that was that particular topic. However, as you see along the side here, there are a multitude of other ones. Collateral damage and sickness and in wealth. There's bad sugar, which obviously another interesting topic, and an issue that is a huge focus across. It could affect any people today. Even kids are dealing with those types of issues. So lots of other interesting topics that if you had a burning desire, you could go in and take a look at those as well. They are part of our Canopy subscription. So lots of interesting stuff in here, and actually probably many other interesting documentaries and films that you can get access to through this Canopy subscription. I'm assuming nobody had an issue. I didn't hear of any issues getting access to the Canopy to be able to watch that, but so I'm hoping everyone was able to access that without a problem. Okay, as usual, my husband has a knack of texting me right in the middle of looking at one of these, or putting one of these together. So I just wanted to talk briefly about week 4. We do have an infographic assignment this week. I think folks in the HSA program have been doing infographics with Dr. Frindak, but our friends from the nursing program, if you haven't done infographics before, it's really just a one-page pictorial representation of the information that we're putting together for this week, which is going to be, excuse me, community health assessment. I want you to locate one. You can use your community, you can use another community. There are some referenced in the textbook. There are lots that you can easily find via web search. I want you to take one of those community health assessments and then create an infographic. I want you to review it, obviously, and then create an infographic with some information from that community health assessment. What do you think is most pertinent, maybe most problematic areas? things that you would want to focus on if you were whatever you want, whatever you see maybe your dream job. If you want to be a CEO of a hospital, if you want to be um, the head of care coordination, if you want to be, whatever it is, maybe you see um, your next job. How could you use this information from the community health assessment in your role? Take some of that info and plug that into an infographic. It's really, be creative. This is your assignment. So do take that data and use it in whatever way you might think to use it. Infographics are very creative assignments. So what I did want to mention, though, for folks that are this is a newer activity, or if you want to branch out and try one of these other um, products, I've listed out Easleave, Venngage, Pictochart. Those are 3 different types of products that you can use to do infographic. They all have free options to be able to create your infographic in a free way. Some of them require that you just share a link to your infographic, which is fine. That way, when you submit, when you do your submission to Blackboard, you can just share the link for me. That's fine. Some of them allow you to download a low quality version of your file, which is also fine. I don't need any high resolution file or anything. Low quality file is okay. Not low quality work, but low quality file, just fine. Also, if you are a Mac user, my understanding is Pages. I am a Mac user, but I don't use Pages. But my understanding is that Pages does a nice job with infographics. You're welcome to use that. I just ask that you don't just create a document in Word. It needs to be an infographic. So, which is, it's truly a pictorial representation of your data as opposed to just a Word document. It needs to be a true infographic. So if you're not familiar with infographics, you can Google it and you'll see lots of infographics. But if you check out these websites, Easleave, Venngage, you'll see what an infographic looks like. So if you have any questions on the use of those sites or on what is expected, please just give me a call, drop me a note. I'm happy to help you. Okay, having some recording issues today, I guess. I think that's it. I am going to be out of the office Thursday and Friday this week, but I will be working from a remote location. So I will not be in the office for my Thursday office hour. So if you have any issues, again, please call. Just feel free to call or email. I will be available, but I won't be here in the office at RMU on Thursday during my normal office hour time that day. But I will be available remotely. But that's about it. I hope everyone is having a good week, and I will talk to everybody soon. Thanks so much.